So here we are, the Blackbird Writers live on Substack TV. Thank you, Roxanne, for joining. Nice to see you. This episode is for our normal Friday audience. It's 11 o'clock Central, and this is where we join you. Hi, Sean. This is where we join you to talk about news from the Blackbird Writers crime fiction writing flock, industry updates and topics. Is it real or is it AI? And our favorite things. So my name is TK Sheffield. I come to you live from my clawfice, and I write stories for readers to laugh and escape. Hi, Lori Buchanan. Nice to see you. And with me are Tracey S. Phillips, the founder of Blackbird Writers. And also we have a special guest in place of Valerie Beal. So it's wonderful that you can join us, Sharon. I will let you introduce yourself. Tracey, take it away. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, TK, and welcome everybody. Sorry, we're a little bit late today, technical difficulties. But I am Tracey S. Phillips, and I write about fierce women who face their shadow side. And I am the founder of Blackbird Writers. I founded Blackbird Writers in 2020 because I decided that no author can ever do all the things that we have to do to promote ourselves and get the work done all by ourselves. So it takes many voices, many chirping voices to spread your news, and together we soar higher. So that's why I founded this group. And it's so great to have Sharon here today. Sharon is another Blackbird, and she's coming in from the West Coast-ish.
The mountains of Arizona, actually. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Tracey and TK, for having me today. And I just want to say no one can ever replace Val, because she's delightful. I write traditional, mostly cozy mysteries that feature an American college student, but are set in England. And so she's a little bit of a fish out of water. You'd think that speaking the language would help, and it doesn't always. Sometimes it's worse.
Well, we're delighted to have you, and congrats on your multiple awards with that series. It's really fun to see and hear about all your success with that.
Thank you. And we love your books and your character Maddie and all of her escapades in Bath, because we love to travel to Bath without traveling.
Yeah. Someday you'll need to get there actually traveling.
Yes.
I have a funny story about the British English versus American English. My husband's an international pilot, and one of the, he flies around the world, and English is the international aviation language. So in other words, air traffic, they speak in English. However, the most difficult air traffic control that he had, or one of them, would be the British air traffic, because, the accent was a little puzzling. So over the radio, even though it was still English. But anyway, so what we do on Blackbird Writers Live on Substack TV is, first of all, we bring you news from the crime fiction writing flock of the Blackbirds. Then we have an industry topic, which today is book clubs. What they are, how you can interact with them, and just the benefits of approaching book clubs and having them speak to you as an author. And then after that, we talk about, is it real or is it AI? And then my favorite part, which is our favorite things. So, Tracey, you've got news from the flock.
I do. And the first news that I have on my list features you, TK, because you were the featured author on Valerie's Aside Conversations with Authors, just off the page. Valerie's podcast features focused conversation with an author about their work and the ideas that shape their stories, along with some potentially quirky questions you might not be expecting. She's really good at interviewing. I love the questions that she asks because they are very unexpected. So if you're looking for a new and fresh podcast with authors, check out The Aside. And the most recent one has TK. I'm pointing. Features TK.
Yes. It was very fun. Thank you for mentioning it. It was great. Thank you, Val. I appreciated being on the show.
Yeah. And here is a link to that in the chat. Next up, I have Sarah Lynn Richard, who has finally finished her Southern Gothic thriller, leaning literary. Oh no, I'm sorry. She's in. She finished her book, which is finally going off to beta readers. And so I'm really excited to be one and to get to read that book. But she's interviewing a Southern Gothic thriller writer, leaning literary, Lo Patrick, about her newly launched novel, The Sins of Summer Daughters. It's a really fun experience being on the other side of the interview, Sarah Lynn says.
Great. Congrats, Sarah Lynn.
Cheryl Joseph says that she just received a beautifully formatted PDF for her book, number 8, Bougainvillea Street, The Stolen Tiara. So we should be looking forward to that book, which will be coming out, I think, in late September as well. She writes those middle grade mysteries with a touch of history. Cheryl's books are just delightful.
They really are.
Yeah. And I've got her sign up for her newsletter right here. Dink, and I'll stick it in the chat. So next up, Janae Sacken, her book, The Women Who Stand Between, is winning awards like crazy. It is such an excellent book, by the way. If you have not read it, just phenomenal. She has won Infinite Generations Positive Impact winner for Best Fiction, the Positive Impact Legacy Award winner, and the Gold Positive Impact winner for Best Adult Book.
Wow.
And that is just a few of the many, many awards that this book has already won.
Congratulations. That's fantastic news.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Janae. And I have a little bit of news too. Best Kept Secrets is going to be free for everyone to read on July 20th through the 24th. So download your free copy of Best Kept Secrets, the first book in my Detective Morgan Jewell series. And then you're going to want to read book 2, Deepest Secrets, which just came out on July 30th.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, you need to put that link in the comments.
Oh, well, I will do that. And I need Sarah Lynn's link too.
Okay, I've got a few things. So I am going a couple things. Thank you for mentioning the aside conversation with Val. And there's a couple of fun things coming up in Colorado. Margaret Mitsushima and Kathleen Donnelly will be at the Old Town Library in Fort Collins, Colorado to celebrate the launch of Deadly Revenge on July 28th at 6 p.m. Margaret Mitsushima's Fighting Edge, the 11th book in the Timber Creek Canine Mysteries, releases September 8th. And a Goodreads giveaway for Fighting Edge started July 10th and ends on the 27th. So sign up, find Margaret on, Goodreads, and then you can sign up for a chance to win one of 5 physical copies. So both of those authors, Kathleen and Margaret, write fantastic canine mysteries, which, a dog and a mystery and a exciting town or a quaint town or a Western town, how can you go wrong with that? So definitely looking forward to those. And
another wonderful series.
Another wonderful series, yes. We're so lucky with the Blackbird Writers, crime fiction writers. We've all been writing before AI, the AI evolution, right? And that's part of the reason why we're here, is to talk about the books and talk about the experience and the awards the writers have won, and their desire to write strong fiction that connects with readers who enjoy crime fiction. So a couple of things I want to mention going on in the Midwest area. The Central Wisconsin Book Festival, organized by the Marathon County Public Library, will be coming up September 23rd through the 27th. So check that out. That's Wausau, Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids. And then also I will be at the Untitled Town Book and Author Festival in Green Bay, September 25th through 27th. So watch for more news about this event. So Untitled Town, and in contrast to Title Town, which is Green Bay. So we just have it all. Green Bay has it all, right? So anyway, Sharon, do you have news for us? Anything?
I do have a little news. Speaking of Kathleen Donnelly, I am on her current Substack blog, Sit, Stay, Read, and you, as you can probably tell with Kathleen Donnelly and her canine stories, that it's a kind of a dog-oriented mystery. And in my book 4, which came out in the very end of March, Death Takes a Night, I actually, a border collie finds his way into the just
Story.
the hearts and lives of all the characters. So we now have Milo, who is a border collie and is just a integral part of this first mystery, and also just fun to have around. And he's kind of my daughter and her husband have 2 Aussies, and I have a border collie Aussie mix, and he's kind of a mix of all 3 of those. So
Aren't they? Yeah. Congrats. I love it. Anytime you can add, an animal. I've got dogs and horses in all my books.
Yeah.
And, they just add,
always a rabbit.
they become like this moral compass for everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, and they just sort of ground you.
Yes.
Oh, there's a dog, or oh, there's an animal. You know. Yeah.
And if the animal doesn't like someone, they're leading you down a path.
Well, and in this one, the dog likes somebody that my main character absolutely does not, and she's like, betrayal.
Interesting plot device, right? Very, very interesting. Definitely going in a different direction with that. So,
but yeah, it's her Sit, Stay, Read is just a delightful podcast and video cast, and definitely everyone should check it out. So.
Thank you for mentioning that. That
I
sounds
am-
great. Which is a wonderful segue into what we're going Sit, Stay, Read, and author podcasts about what we're talking about today, which is book clubs. So, book clubs, I did a little bit of study, a little bit of, book clubs originated as spaces for intellectual exchange and education and social connection. They began really as women's Bible club meetings, right? And reading circles that you could share ideas and your favorite novels. And then it evolved into literary societies and culture clubs. And then we had this one, this one brought me back. Remember the Book of the Month Club? In Parade magazine on Sundays, you could see this big ad for the Book of the Month Club. So, that's what I grew up with. That's what I knew was this Book of the Month Club. But now they have changed. We had, it's Oprah's book club, and now you've got all kinds of book clubs, Reese's, and there's a number of your favorites. And I'm sure that, we've all been involved in them, and I find them delightful. And I wanted to know more. I did a little more research about how you can get involved in book clubs, what they entail, and how they've evolved into hybrid events now. So, in general, women drive 80% of fiction sales, and so book clubs sort of follow that. And current trends are hybrid and virtual dominance. So you've got the hybrid, which means you can meet in person when your weather is nice or when it's convenient, and then you can switch to online, for example, in Wisconsin, if you're in a snowstorm, which happens. And so anyway, give me your thoughts about book clubs. Tracey,
Invite me, please.
Invite all of us. We would love to. I have been invited to one virtual one. It was on the East Coast, and I do have a list of questions for my first book, because I figure if you're doing a book club, you're going to start with the author's first book and not their 4th or 5th. I really didn't know what to expect when they invited me, and they asked me questions I wasn't expecting them to ask me, and they had a character that universally was hated, and I made him a bad character, but I tried to give him some, he might be redeemed, but they were like, she needs to dump him. So
they had opinions.
They had opinions. They really did. And so, yeah, it was interesting to see that kind of reaction to a side character's, boyfriend who's never actually featured in a scene. but boy, he was kind of controlling, and they did not like that. That was, but
Yeah.
he's gone. I think I get rid of him in this one.
Good.
Spoiler, breaking news.
So going to a book club meeting is just, it's a really, really insightful process for the author as well as for the readers. So they get to ask questions and make comments about things that, as an author, you might not even have realized this was going to have this kind of impact. So, and I was invited by somebody who is in Sisters in Crime, and also, in one of the chapters that I'm in. So I knew she was real. And I am going to a in-person one, which is kind of scary, in October, from one of my friends' mothers who moved to town is part of a book club. And so that's how I got connected to that one. But as far as the process goes, I was telling TK and Tracey, I get about 16 offers for being in a book club every day, and they're all fake. They're real book clubs, but the person emailing me is not the real person. It's like, we want to feature you next week, and I know as a fact that book clubs plan a year out. So what's become difficult is just having to, it's like, that's not real, and that's not real, and that's not real. And it's just so depressing for authors, because we want them to be real. We want the book clubs to reach out.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Go ahead.
That's a really good point, though, Sharon, because we are receiving so many emails from, spam, trying to get authors' attention, trying to get you to sign up for something, trying to get you to pay for a feature. And we should never have to pay for a feature. So if you're an author, don't succumb to this. It is absolutely spam, especially when it starts wording like, oh, your book caught our attention and we would love to feature you on blah, blah, blah. No, it's spam.
Well, do. You don't need book clubs do not need the author's permission to feature it. So yeah, if they are saying, would you be interested in us featuring it, that means they're going to ask you for money. Whereas if they're just like, we are featuring it and we would love for you to join us, that is a different kind of.
Different. So to summarize what you had said, Sharon, it's for authors, prepare a list of questions. You can put a tab on your website with the books, it's book club and then a drop down menu, and you can have a list of questions they can either download as a PDF, or you can bring it, or you can email it to them. So that's a wonderful way to be prepared. And then getting fresh eyes from readers who see a certain character in your book a different way than maybe you intended. That's something an author can take away and use for, maybe to use something in the next book as a part of that feedback. So the other thing I did, I was looking up, just book clubs in general. There's a place online called bookclubs.com. You can start your own book club there, or you can learn more about certain book clubs perhaps in your area. Another place you can go is your local library, because oftentimes they have book clubs who meet at the library, and you can, say, look, have you thought about reading my books? I'd love to come and give an author talk. So that way you're at a neutral location, and these are people that are signing up through the library, and so it's not a scam or a solicitation via an email. Or you can go to a local indie bookstore and see what book clubs they have.
Yeah.
Right.
And most of us really do want to do book events with you. And so if you have a book club, feel free to reach out to authors. I wonder if there's a better way to do it than email. If you know somebody that knows somebody, or with your local library.
Right.
I think that's a really great, it verifies that you were real. Sharon just left us. I hope she comes back.
Yes, Sharon. We miss you already, Sharon.
Sharon, where'd you go?
So hopefully she'll pop back in. But, this is the beauty of live television.
And we're having so many technical difficulties today anyway. Oh, boy.
What did you say? Mars is in retrograde? What did you?
Yes, Mercury.
Yes. Okay.
Mercury.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mercury. The little mischievous Mercury is in retrograde. So hopefully Sharon
Yes.
will pop back in. But
Hopefully.
so book clubs, you know, there are different ways you can get involved. Authors generally would love to discuss their books. There are online Zoom available. There you are. Hopefully she'll come back.
Yes.
You have to turn your camera on, Sharon. So this is it, right? This is what can happen when you go live.
Yeah.
So, and this could happen if you're meeting on a book club live stream too, right? Just
It
wait
does.
for the author
Absolutely.
to return. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Today we're at Blackbird Writers live on Substack TV. We are discussing book clubs. And we had 3 of us. Now we were full strength. Now we're just down to 2. But hopefully Sharon Lynn will be back. So what we did was we discussed news from the crime fiction writers block. We discussed book clubs. So ways you can interact with an author, what an author can do to interact with the club, and how you can avoid scams and meet up with book clubs who really are real and want to read about your books. So, oh, Sharon says I'm back. She's in the chat.
That works.
Yeah. Okay, Sharon. Well, we miss you in the chat. So if you post things in the chat, we'll read them.
Yes, for sure.
On to, is it real or is it AI? So I have something that's relevant to today.
Oh, good.
Here we go. Is this real or is it? Okay, so I have my children's book is written, takes place on Mackinac Island, which is right an island across, across a bridge, and it's no cars, right? Horses and bikes only, which I adore. So anyway, is this real? Is this image of Mackinac Bridge real or is it AI? See all that?
Yeah, it
Is
looks
that real?
foggy. I think it's real.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner. That's Mackinac from all these fires.
I know. I was
cloudy and
thinking because
murky.
it's so far north, and we're just getting. It could be camera, Sharon. Yeah, it could be just a case of turning your camera back on, Sharon.
Right.
Yeah.
So see if that works, Sharon. Okay,
For
and our
sure.
next segment is favorite things. In addition to having Sharon as a co-host, that's favorite thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go next, Tracey?
Well, I have 2.
Oh,
I went around last week to some local book shops, and one of my new favorites is the Garden Wall bookshop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
which is
nice.
in Verona, which is just south of Madison, if you're in the area. And you can buy my books there. But they are just delightful. They do events and they have children's book reading. They have a whole second floor up there that's all kids' books.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, take your children there or your grandchildren and support local authors and bookshops. But this is the other bookshop that I went to, Ink and Ivy, which is on Regent Street near downtown. And it's super cute. They have little gift items and different things. I bought this Pinch Me. It's stress putty.
Oh, nice.
And it's like this, only it's sort of perfumed. So it smells wonderful and you can play with it while working out your stress. And yeah.
Love it. Love it. Keeps you busy.
It does.
And Sharon said, support local, great name for a bookshop. Great that we have many local bookshops. And we do, Sharon, wonderful point. The Madison, I think, has 5 plus a mobile bookstore.
Yeah.
So it's really growing in the area, which is fantastic for the community. And Southeast Wisconsin, I think we've gotten 3 more indie bookstores in the small towns in the area. So it's truly growing. And Sharon, you had some favorite things to share. I'm sorry that you're not back online with us because those tiles that you had were so neat. So we're going to have you back to talk about those favorite things.
Yes.
So anyway, I have a favorite thing. Speaking of book clubs. So I was at a book club recently and it was delightful. And the ladies were wonderful and the host was just amazing. And she knows in my Cupid story, Valentine lines, she knows that Pegasus is in the story. So she made me a white chocolate Pegasus with sparkles.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that fun? Look at him. He flies. He's flying.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I don't have the heart
So-
to take a bite out of him.
I was going to say, it's so pretty. You don't want to eat it.
No, you don't want to eat it, right? I just display them when I want to talk about my book or talk about him. So it's a conversation piece.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Cindy. This was just so sweet of you to do, and I just love it. So that was a book club that I was recently at, and it was so fun. So
Fun.
anyway, so here we are, right on time, 11:30. We are the Blackbird Writers, live on Substack TV. We come to you every Friday at 11 a.m. Central. We share news from the Blackbird Writers crime fiction writing flock, industry updates and events and ideas we can share to encourage you in your author-writer journey. And then we share our favorite things, or is it live or is it AI? So thank you so much for joining us. You can always watch the replay on this, and please like and share to support the group, and let us know in the comments how you feel about the show or what you'd like to hear us discuss about next. So thank you. Have a
Yeah.
wonderful weekend.
All
Tracey,
right.
it's been good to see you. And Sharon, thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Sharon. And I'm sorry you got shut out. We'll see. We'll have you again on soon. All right. Bye, everybody.